Pants on. Action. 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 Walk in. Which one? I don't want to swear. I actually said before we're allowed to swear, but oh my God, the camera's not like my head. There we go. Here we go. Locked in. Perfect. You see that?
Hey, this is legit setup.
Who the is this guy?
Well, welcome, bro. Right.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, look, this is the big leagues. Just want to thank my family. It's
Why are you thanking your family for this? You've literally were the face of Park on FIFA, which we'll talk later. But we can. Should we discuss it now? This is
funny, right? This is what I love about you. You've always had an alias. You know, some people, and I have this theory that anyone named Daniel has a nickname, and they just don't go by Daniel, right? You don't go by your full name ever. You are either Ryan from Park or Ryan from FIFA.
What do you have him saved as in your phone?
I've got his actual name.
Yeah.
I have him as a Ryan Influencer Park.
This guy is taking the piss.
Oh, hey, influencers. He's on the money.
He is.
I have a theory that Ryan is PFC's micro influencer unintentionally.
I'll take it.
Sharing my post and then all of a sudden a sale from the
I'll take it. Look.
It's like, hang on a second.
Use my affiliate link.
Well, today we have Ryan. Ryan, I met through Park. If you know, Park is not only a non-for-profit, but no, it is a non-for-profit in some ways. It does help.
Maybe like a social impact brand.
Yeah, social impact.
I wouldn't
That's
go not-for-profit.
Look, it's a business. It's a business, but I think they started off in the sense that they helped the community.
Yeah, and we still do.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And I think I met Park in a different sort of way in football.
Yeah.
But the way I met this guy was on a shoot with, was it Alex Chidia?
Yeah.
And he was all dressed up, and I remember Sam from
What
Park.
do you mean all dressed up? That's how I normally dress.
Yeah, wait, this is the reference. Sam from Park's like, you're gonna like this guy. I'm like, why? What's so cool about Ryan? He wears Uniqlo. Remember?
He knows. It's just like, I think you guys, you're a Uniqlo guy.
Wait, I actually don't wear that much Uniqlo.
But at the day you wore Uniqlo.
Did I wear? I probably wore.
Mate,
Yeah.
I remember the conversation.
Yeah.
I was like, how do you not remember our first time?
No, I did. I remember our first time. I remember. I saved myself for you, the Uniqlo conversation, so don't worry about it. I got it.
You're big in the certain leagues as well in the football industry. Like,
am I?
There was the Christian leagues.
Yeah. Look, defending crossbar champ at Park. I cut my teeth with the Christian teams.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah. That's where it all began.
Well, thank you for coming today.
Thank
Here at
you for
Between
having
Two
me.
Shirts, Paul and I basically just talk a lot of shit and we have a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Like the episodes. What is it? Episode 8 now?
I think so, yeah. Just want
to say thank you to everyone for listening to on
Episode 8, right? Like 8 is like a very special number to the
there you
Asian
go,
community.
yeah.
So I think that's why you had me on episode 8.
Well, let's hope
if you want. But...
Well, if you are listening to this on Spotify, our jerseys that we're wearing today, I'll go first. I actually kind of want to describe. I was listening to the episode the other day and I was like, I didn't really describe the shirt, so I'm not going to say what the shirt is. It's Inter Milan. It's white with the blue collars. Fiorucci on the front. Is that a chocolate brand? I think I've seen the logo on the...
No, actually.
Yeah, the nice sort of sash on the here, Sashmas, blue and black. One of my favorite shirts. Umbro has their subtle Inter within the cotton. Love it. Describe your shirts to the listeners, not the viewers, because the viewers can watch it.
I should probably know more about Ryan's shirt.
Yeah. Can you do mine? Because I bought mine off Paul, so he's going to do my shirt intro.
So he's going, I think it's a 95, 96, or 96, 97 home shirt, Dortmund. Ramberg design, obviously, iconic.
Colours. Come on, people are driving right now.
Oh, yeah, it's a home shirt, so it's that vibrant yellow, black details, black collar, fresh as.
That's right.
Sponsor?
Oh, sponsored by Continentale.
Yeah.
That's my brand, right?
I think so. No, I think they were a food brand. I can't remember. I think they had a few sponsors in that generation, but it's a great shirt. I think you and I always used to say I would love a Drake Ramberg design, and now we have so many in front of us.
We were actually laughing about this the other day because, during lockdown, we started collecting, we just sort of ramped up our shirt collecting, and it was always we need to get a PSG, we need to get a Dolphin kit.
Yeah.
And now I think I went through the stock the other day and I'm like, oh man, I got 5 of these.
Yeah, ever since I met the two of you, I've spent so much money on kits. It's unreal how expensive being friends with you guys is.
We're a very bad influence.
Yeah, terrible influence.
Was a kid scene, I think. Even though we're very much both against gambling.
Yeah.
To a fairly, I know
Highly against it.
Yeah.
What about your shirt? I think this is something you were describing the other day.
Yeah, it was. I think you were asking what was my recent pickup, and it came in the post the other day. So this is a 99 to 2000 Roma. Oh, I don't know if it's away or third. I think it's away. But it's got Totti on the back. big.
Loving the detail in the cotton, like the polyester. Sorry,
man, and this collar is
It's nice.
yeah, it's one of the best. And Diodora, well, and I love the badge design. It's a bit more of a plasticky.
It's rubberized. That's awesome. Yeah. I love. That's one thing I like now. Like you see a lot of clubs doing either rubberized. I think Real Sociedad stuff. I feel the Macron.
It depends on the manufacturer. I think Macron does well. Nike and Adidas are pretty poor on their designs of the badges.
Like the Barca holographic crest from Barca last year.
Yeah,
Amazing.
amazing.
And there's a few that could kind of sneak through, which is still pretty cool.
I feel like I'm watching tennis, just like looking at the two.
You don't have to look at us. Just look at the camera. Just stare at the
So
camera.
while they talk, I'm going to talk to you
So
guys.
if someone's watching this on YouTube, just enjoy Ryan's glare.
Just eye contact.
That's it. No, it's I think this is one thing I feel like I say in every episode, but it's been an awesome week in football. It's been an awesome weekend in football. I know you guys are United fans. That was a good sort of turning point for you, which is nice. I think not having to deal with the pressure.
I don't know. It was like even the Liverpool game was great, but then the recent game.
So it was underwhelming against Southampton.
Yeah, it wasn't really a fun sort of. It wasn't an enjoyable game to watch. I kind of felt, having the whole. I don't know if you read what Ronaldo came out in the Times with all this information. Did you see what happened?
Also, he's done his interview.
Well,
where
there
he
was some
reveals
sort
it.
of leakage, and they were saying stuff like apparently when they signed him, they promised that they're going to win the league together. It was like a team that he could help win, and now he's And I was all this thing on Twitter, and again, it may be false. It hasn't been certified yet, but there was that rumor he's going to come out with some sort of information with his notes from his diary that he has.
Yeah.
So transfer their deadline day is almost here, so we'll find out. But I don't know. What do you think United this season?
I think it's tough. I think after how underwhelming it was last season, it's difficult to come into the new season with hope.
Yeah.
Now, was I at the MCG when we beat Crystal Palace yelling, we're going to win the league with everyone else? Yeah, 100%. I did that. But we're not going to win the league. And I don't know how they promised Ronaldo that. If they did, that's an insane promise to make because, I think it's taken the right manager to come in, make big decisions like dropping Harry Maguire.
Yeah. That's massive.
And if Ronaldo doesn't fit the system, being able to drop him as well to play their style of football, it's going to take time to rebuild. So, yeah.
If you're like the club promising that, or even if you're the player receiving that promise, regardless of if you're Ronaldo or a 17-year-old kid, surely you're looking at that going, that's not feasible. You can't promise that.
Because you've been around the block enough. If you're Cristiano Ronaldo, best player in the world, right, arguably, like you've been around the block, you've won titles and stuff. You know what makes a title-winning team. You walk into that changing room and you look at those players and you go, you have to be able to make a spot on kind of like judgment and go, this team isn't winning the league. You're going up against Liverpool, Man City, Spurs, investment, like Chelsea. I mean, yeah.
Also, then you throw injuries into the mix. How can you convince me that your best 6 players don't get injured in the first 2 weeks of the season?
Well, there was that rumor of him going to City at the start, remember?
Yeah.
So there was in the sort of detailed sort of screen grabs that this person had shared. It got a pretty wide range of likes and shares, and so there was one little point. I'm not sure the valid sort of if this is real or not, but there was the sort of he got sort of offered United and to avoid City, so there was that possibility that he may actually have gone to City.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just complicated, and I think for the club, I would prefer they sort out his future sooner rather than later. If he sticks around through until the mid-season window, I think it's going to be problematic. Like, he doesn't want to be starting on the bench every single time. Like, it's just going to be a bit...
Let's not talk about Ronaldo too much. He's not the best person to speak about, but I know for us it wasn't a fun week. I know Chelsea had a bit of I can't think. Was the red card for Gallagher?
Dumb.
Dumb, yeah.
The second tackle was it was a professional foul that you'd make without having a previous yellow card.
Yeah.
Especially in the 25th minute of a game.
Yeah.
That was so frustrating. But it's funny because looking at it, not knowing that it was Gallagher at the time, I was like, bring him down. Straight away, bring him down.
Yeah.
Because it's like, he's at the halfway line, he's on the counter, close to the halfway line. And then I was like, that's a great decision.
Is that going to ruin his chances to stay in the team now?
No, I don't think it'll ruin it. It'll make it harder because obviously now there's a bit of a disciplinary kind of like cloud over him, I guess. Not that he's young.
Is his position in the team solidified?
No, there's so many midfielders. Chelsea squad and stuff. It's hard enough to make the squad, and the fact that he did get in, Kante being injured, that kind of helps.
Yeah.
Like he jumped Kovacic to start, which I thought was
that's massive.
pretty good. But yeah, I think there's other problems at Chelsea. I saw a funny a chant made by a fan who was in like some comments on a Twitter thread, and the guy was basically summarizing Chelsea was that we're like 7 defenders and no attack. And as a Chelsea supporter, like it's hard to see when you've got such big names up top, but we're just not impressive in the front third.
At least you don't have David Luiz anymore.
Yeah, but he was good at the start.
He was a character. Liverpool won 9-0, which is
Record, right?
Did you see that tweet by Southampton who reached out to Bournemouth and they're like, all right, well, no,
If you need to talk.
Yeah, if you need to talk. I think only United and Liverpool have won 9-0 in the Premier League. I know we've done it against Ipswich and Southampton. That's United. And then Liverpool have done it now to Southampton and Bournemouth? No, we did it to Southampton and they did it to Bournemouth. That was pretty amazing for them. I'm not sure if you guys saw the goals.
Yeah, crazy goals. Harvey Elliott's goal was
Man,
huge.
Man.
there's a few. Even Trent's was good.
Yeah.
There's a few bombs in there. Like,
I think for Harvey Elliott, he sort of enjoyed his moment. The guy's really trying to make his name. Like it's against him, you've got Milner and Henderson, and he's trying to put himself in that contention for starting 11. All the fans were sort of judging his starting position out against United. They had a pretty horrible lineup when you think about Liverpool, how good they are against United.
Yeah, so many injuries,
and of course Nunes being out
and red card.
Yeah. But I think overall the Premier League was a good sort of week. Do you play fantasy?
No, I don't. Like every time people go, you should join my fantasy, and then I do week 1, and then I'm like,
I'm actually really into it. And I captained Gabriel Jesus. Here we go, the coffee orders here. And I regret it because so many players scored hat-tricks, and Haaland being one of them was insane.
Yeah.
we're actually really blessed today because we have Panenka's.
You can say hi if you have to.
I guess you're not really a visitor, are you? You're a stalwart now. It's just
An OG.
Thank you.
She's actually coming on this topic.
This episode is sponsored by Panenka. Haaland scoring a hat-trick.
Yep.
Oh,
Big.
wow.
When I
2-0
tuned into that game, when I saw Crystal Palace 2-0, I was like, yes, because nothing makes me happier than
But like
seeing.
a bogey team for City.
But then Man City are just too good, bro.
Oh, man.
They're just too good.
One of the best things I read this morning was Haaland's debut hat-trick in the Bundesliga. Oh, he's going to take some time to warm up for the Prem. Took him 4 games.
Yeah, crazy.
Man, that guy's just scoring goals. Like, you see I think there was a comment I heard on the podcast where apparently Haaland was yelling at Foden at training. He's like, just kick the ball to me. Just give me the ball. I'll find a way to score. And those goals he scored, like, the guy gets his head and leg any position. Like, honestly, if you had a player like that, I think there was rumors that Chelsea wanted to sign him. If you're dropping like 80, I think, how much do you guys get for Fana for? 80 something million?
Yeah.
Let's not talk about United, how much they spent on Anthony this morning, 170 or 100 something million.
Yeah.
Like, Haaland could have easily gone there, but being City with his father and stuff, it's probably a great match. And it's
And
probably
being born in Leeds as well, I don't think he was ever going to come to United.
So,
it was massive for them to go to City because his dad.
Yeah.
But that's just a great thing for City to have a striker like that.
there's a really good podcast. I can't remember who it's by, but it's Alan Shearer interviewing Haaland before. So once he's signed for City.
Oh, yeah, BBC Sport. Yeah.
Amazing.
Great
and
interview.
they talk about his
Gotta
dad's
check this
influence
out,
of why he came across. And he says, I really consulted my dad because we grew up in England, so we had a lot of like roots here and we were familiar with the territory. So it wasn't like we went into a familiar country.
So does he hate United?
I don't know. I'd assume so. You surely as a kid, you'd go up, like he was what, 12 or 13 at some point.
When Roy Keane ruined his dad's career.
Man, yeah, that'd be
Definitely
hard.
hates United.
That'd be hard for us.
I would love if, like, again, as a United fan, I would love to see, like, if we were to lose, and it hurts me saying this, but if Roy Keane was there and Haaland celebrated in front of him,
That would be
like,
an
out of
epic
all the
viral
people,
moment.
Roy Keane would definitely be one of those people who be like,
I'd love to see Haaland do what Ronaldo did to Carragher on the
The snub?
You know, like, goes to shake hands with who was it?
It was like
it was Ronaldo.
It was like Neville, Carragher, and Roy Keane.
yeah,
all
it
there.
was
Yeah,
Sky
yeah,
Sports team. That was amazing.
That was great.
Oh, geez, someone in the hallway is smoking, so forgive us if we start choking here. We've got a few notes down. This episode's going to be a pretty long one. Ryan, we sent you some homework.
Yeah.
You can look at my form if you
Wait,
want.
just before we go, like, so when you guys asked me to come on, right? You're like, come on, do the episode and stuff. I was like, yeah, all glory to God, I made it. Like, we done it. There's 3 cameras, there's lights, and we've done. And then first thing you tell me, get here at 8:30, which is, like, you got to wake up early to get. Who records something that early in the morning? And then second, you send me a Google Doc with homework.
Well,
So if they ask you to come onto the show, be prepared. It's work.
Well, the common thing that Paul and I have is we have children.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, now when you put it like that, fine, fair enough. Yeah.
If someone asks you to come on the show, he's like, hey, I've got a kid now.
Yeah, 6 a.m.
I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I think next time I might leave 2 weeks before because traffic for me
It took
is
you ages to
horrible.
get here. Yeah.
Paul, you go first.
Yeah.
I just saw the note you wrote down.
So in this Google Doc, obviously it's a shared document, so we've all got our own accounts, and sometimes we look the banter between each other. And I think Alex left something saying that Italy is a horrible football team or something. So I left a little note on his saying that Goran Pandev is just a character from which. So on the topic of European football, the draws for the Champions League and Europa League came out this week. Wow, there's some big groups. Some big groups. So actually, before we get into the groups, how good is it that Rangers...
Oh, yeah, that was epic. Epic scenes.
Sad for PSV.
Yes.
They're in Europa though. Like, gives them a bit more chance. And Ruud van Nistelrooy and his crew have the opportunity to. I'm just getting the Champions League and Europa ones up here. They have opportunity to use a young team to progress and do something.
Yeah. I'm just so happy for Rangers. I think I was listening to a story about them and like Morelos causing some dramas because he was sort of unfit, wanted to play, and Gianni Van Bronckhorst didn't want him to, if he's not ready to be in the squad. And I think it caused some unrest between the squad. And it's good to see that they can sort of rise above it and still manage to get what they need to do to get there.
Yeah, no, it was epic scenes as well, obviously, and for the club, after what it's gone through, I think to be back at the pinnacle is crazy. It's crazy.
Massive.
So, group of depth for you guys? Have you got a selection?
Oh, it's a tough one. Have you seen the groups?
Yeah, I've seen the groups. Yeah, I did my homework, bro. You sent it through. I read it. I actually did my homework.
I think for me, the best group is Group F. I always say Group of Death, Group F in anything. Like Real Madrid and Celtic definitely have that sort of like yes factor, but then you've got Shakhtar, who you're going to speak about with a Ukrainian background, and then Leipzig, of course. There's a bit of Werner's back there. Yeah. So for me, that's the group of death because there's every other group for me. Like Group A looks challenging, but then again, like. For me, Group F, because if Real Madrid or Celtic don't make it, it's like these two underdogs can definitely take it under them.
What do you think? Like, obviously, you're an Inter supporter. Inter's group
is the group of death, bro.
Yeah, look, the best thing about being Champions League, if you drop third, you go Europa, so you still have a chance to win a cup. So for them, the Victoria Pleasant is just having fun.
It's just vibes out here today.
But like when you look at most of the things, which team in that sort of group in third position is more likely to win the Europa?
Oh, surely.
There's so many. You get me?
Are you saying out of that group?
So I'm saying, I think that's the best thing about Champions League. If you go full in Champions League, you can either win the Champions League or you drop third and go Europa.
But you see a lot of teams go out straight sets. It's just like they've hit some turmoil patch and they'll drop out of Champions League, drop out of Europa straight after.
Yeah, of course. United.
Manchester United. He was speaking from experience.
But yeah, like I think Rangers, Celtic, both in the in sort of Europe.
How epic would it be if they met in the knockout stages?
Oh man,
that would be.
So is that a possibility? I'm just looking at the group stages. So Celtic's in F, Rangers are in A. Yeah, there is a potential.
Yeah,
even just a knockout, like even if it's early stages, that'd be awesome.
That is pretty amazing.
Like a round of 16 clash.
Yeah,
that's not the first time two Scottish teams are in the Champions League at the same time.
No, surely back in.
No,
maybe years before Rangers went to.
Bro, did you do your homework or what's going on? You made me do homework.
Stop doing the homework, mate.
I was speaking of Bayern in that group of Inter, Barca, and Victor Pleasant. Lewandowski obviously has a return back.
Massive.
There's some big homecomings. I mean, Haaland is Man City and Dortmund as well. Yeah, so there's some.
What would the reception be, do you think, for both of them? Because they're both in very different stages of their career and both made big money moves. Well, I guess Lewandowski wasn't necessarily big money moves, but
I think you have to look at the way they left it, right? Like, I think Haaland left on good terms. Like he'd always made it clear that Dortmund was a bit of a stepping stone to a bigger club. Yeah. I think the way Lewandowski left might have left a bad taste in the mouth a little bit, just because he forced his way. They didn't want him to go, but he was insistent. So I don't know. Maybe Haaland's return to Dortmund might be a bit warmer of a reception compared to Lewandowski returning to.
I don't think German football has. Do they really have grudges on players leaving?
Oh, I'm sure they would. We'll look at like Mats Hummels, right? He was probably.
But that was like in within the league. Yeah. But I'm saying overseas back to like other countries and then coming like I don't think I've really.
I think it's interesting because you look at a lot of these clubs and a lot of them are like amazing at developing great youth players. So they would be so accustomed to players developing into something reasonable and then shifting.
Yeah, of course.
I say big club loosely, but a big, more prominent team that's sort of.
You look at like when Lukaku left Inter and what the fans did to him, and now he's back. They're like, oh yeah, we forgive you, but like I don't know. I've never seen sort of players leave Bayern or Dortmund for the top. Higher teams go to other European leagues. I don't really see the sort of anger in the fans in that situation. There may have been, I may stand corrected, but I think it'll be fine. But in that group, the one thing I'm excited for is Matt Ryan is in that group.
Wow.
He gets to go to City and Dortmund and Sevilla to play Champions League football.
He's at Copenhagen, right?
Yeah.
What a career he's had. Like, I know he's jumped around like from.
Not on his. It wasn't his choice though. What happened in England?
Yeah, of course. And I think I was sad to see him leave England initially, and that move to Arsenal was obviously massive as well. But it's so good, and you can see. I think there was a reel posted by, I don't know if it was Copenhagen or one of the players, but him getting in the background, and getting amongst it, and like being so excited.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So good.
It's amazing. Like to think that he was basically pushed out at Brighton, went to Arsenal on a loan. It was amazing. A lot of Aussie fans were hoping he stayed there, but of course Arsenal had their plans with the team they've got now. But then he went over to Spain, Sociedad, I think.
Yes. Yeah, he was in Spain, yeah.
And then he's in Copenhagen. Amazing for him. Will he come with the Premier League? Easily. He's easily, Premier League level. He could easily keep at Bournemouth. Or even I wouldn't mind him at United.
Bournemouth needed him on the weekend.
Yeah,
I wouldn't blame the keeper for all the goals though. The defending was horrible.
Actually, Mark Travers is a good goalkeeper.
Yeah,
I signed him in FIFA career mode. He's good.
But look, let's go for our champs and wins and disappointments. So Ryan, you can go first.
Yeah, I think Bayern might take out the Champions League. I like the way they run their football club, like the operations, the way they do transfers, like Sadio Mane coming in for 30. Look, even he was shocked, whoever that was, 30 mil for Sadio Mane. Yeah.
Just stop his play.
I think they run a good ship, and also looking at the way they dominate the Bundesliga on the weekend against Mönchengladbach, probably not the finest showing, but Jan Sommer played a blinder, and but I think the way they just roll through teams in the Bundesliga might give them the luxury of rotating players in and out and be fresh for Champions League games. I think they're right up there with the business they've done.
Episodes back about how Man City has a very systematic approach to their football. I feel like Bundesliga in general has a very systematic kind of approach. Each club is slightly different in their own way, but I feel like Bayern is a really good example in how they operate and how they play as a club. And
very good operators, and I think the luxury of being the best team in Germany is that when you come up against teams that are lower down the table, the opportunity to rest and rotate. Yeah, I think they'll have the legs.
Crazy. I think on that point of City, I think City will take it this season. I think Haaland was their missing piece. And then looking at how they've started the season, I think I predicted them in the first Premier League episode finishing fourth, and now I kind of regret saying that because they look like they're just going to roll everyone. But I think if they can sustain and if Haaland can remain uninjured, I think City will take it.
I predicted United will beat Liverpool, even though I said the episode before that we're gonna don't wake up. So I was pretty confident. I was like, oh, you know what, I might be good at this. Just guessing. Look, honestly, I think it's gonna be a big season for football. I think there's a lot of positivity, no matter what team you look at. Yeah. I don't know why. I just want to say this just because it's a really out there prediction, but
for the clicks.
Not that I want them to win it, but PSG winning the Champions League, I think would be a great way to see Messi just take the trophy, then go to the World Cup, take another trophy, and then, might take the trophy at Qatar first, then Champions League because there's a midway break. So is that break going to help him with a bit more confidence in a player like that? Maybe.
If PSG or if Messi did a league, Champions League, and World Cup.
Ronaldo just
does he get goated? He gets goated.
He gets goated.
He gets goated straight away, right?
And he gets Ronaldo's on the bench, getting replaced by
yeah, that's rough.
Surely at that point you think you score a hat-trick on a Sunday league and you're like, I'm done, guys. Thanks for retiring. And I'll see.
Honestly,
so if he does that, he gets goated. Are we saying on right here, right now, he wins Champions League, the Liga, and the World Cup, and then maybe throw in the French Cup? He's goated after that.
For sure. Like
that's an insane.
I know we're pretty in that age group where it's like, yeah, they're both amazing. We're not going to PSG, Ronaldo, Messi. But honestly, the guy, if he wins the Champions League, great way for him to just leave Europe and go back home.
Insane.
Europa League. Wow. Another there's some tough groups there. Yeah. There's some big clubs. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a big fan of Betis at the moment. I think I love what they're doing from a cultural sense. I love what they're doing on a football field. Their squad is sick. And I think they actually might take it.
That's pretty cool. I haven't even looked at Real Betis as a squad for this season for the Champions. I know they did well in their previous year, but for me, I kind of think if Inter drops out third, they could definitely go all the way up. Look, they got a great defense. I know on the weekend they conceded a goal due to the defense's errors, but I think the team has something there. They can't win the Scudetto. I don't think they can. I think AC Milan and Roma have a bit more of a stronger squad, but I think Inter could do it. Otherwise, Arsenal, they faced their first. I think who's Arsenal have in the Premier League this week? Is it us?
No.
I always get this wrong. So I need to check it. But Arsenal, I feel they could do a great job in the Champions League. I just think they've got a great striker up front. So
I think it's
he's-
Manchester Derby this week for you guys, isn't it?
Let me
You
check.
have Liverpool and City back to back.
No, I made that error.
Oh.
Arsenal
I
have
don't
Aston
know.
Villa. I gotta stop listening to those podcasts where you just always make assumptions. No, so yeah, Arsenal's got Villa, but Arsenal haven't have. Oh yeah, Arsenal's playing us in 2 weeks' time. So I think that's the first time they're facing a big squad. So that's going to be my way of saying if they beat us, which I think Arsenal could, they've got a bit more of a unified team. They
Yeah.
could go all the way into Europa.
Yeah. Well, I reckon PSV could do a number in the Europa League. I don't know
Cool.
whether they'll win it, but I think they've got a good young squad. Obviously, Ruven Nistelrooy kind of transforming the philosophy at the club. So I think it'll be interesting.
Simmons,
Simmons, yeah.
amazing.
So I think he
He left
do
PSG, go back home. It's amazing.
Yeah. They have a good squad.
They've got the jerseys here. I haven't got the new ones yet. Definitely want to get
Is this-
Simmons.
who else is Nistelrooy coach?
No one.
They got Cody Gakpo.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, who has he coached previously?
Oh, I thought you meant the other players.
Just
in the
youth
squad.
clubs.
Just
Just-
youth.
yeah.
Yeah. So his first big job.
Because he was like a notorious pain in the ass for every other club apart from the one he was playing for. Player.
Yeah.
So I wonder what he'd be like as a coach. Do you think he would be like, your typical like brutal?
I think it's an interesting concept of like great former players where they don't necessarily translate to being great coaches.
No, I think we spoke
Gerrard.
about this once. Well, yeah,
I mean, Gerrard lost again this morning, Steven Gerrard. So
Yeah.
Get him out of there. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
did he? Yeah. So I mean, tough, right? But I don't know.
Villa. Shout out to Jamie McLaren.
I just want to say that I'm not part of whatever this is.
There's some weird banter going on.
Yeah.
Yes, people that aren't.
Yeah.
No, I think Rude could do well. It was a good call. I didn't even think about PSV as
Yeah,
contestants. Actually, you know what? Think about all the coaches that are former players and how amazing there are. How many there are. Like Van Bronckhorst,
Good coach.
Van Nistelrooy.
Yeah.
Of course, you got your Lampards, Gerrards.
Who are average.
Well, I'm just
So
saying,
what you're
like,
saying is the Dutch players become good coaches.
but I'm
and
just
the
saying, how
English
amazing
players
is it to
just-
see people we idolized when we were kids, now coaches?
And not that long ago, like those
We always guessed.
2006,
Yeah,
8, they're still playing. Like,
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, it's not that much, well, not that far between drinks, right? It's very close.
But I find it an interesting concept. Then, how would you feel as a coach coming through the ranks, like in the lower leagues, to see these players because of their? And I mean, let's be honest, right? Like, it's the notoriety of being great players that you get those jobs. As young coaches coming through the ranks in like the Championship, League One, and stuff, do you think it's a little bit kind of like unfair? Is not the right word, but you get looked over.
Everyone gets their moment.
Yeah.
Like, what's that? Oh, God, I forgot his name. Was it Steve? What was the guy that at Newcastle that did the dance against
Bruce.
United?
Steve Bruce.
No, not Steve Bruce. Alan, he's just finished.
Yeah,
he had his
yeah.
moment, and now they are the young ones, the
Yeah,
Parkers and Eddie.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna happen. Coaches just rinsed out
I feel like
because
amongst like playing groups specifically, you guys have noticed from when you play football, like you see the guys that you play with, that like he's just got the brain. Like we've all probably played like low state level football at best, right? But
Churches League, baby.
yeah. But, and so we probably see a lot of rubbish players.
Yeah.
But you're like, that guy actually gets it. Like
Yeah.
his
That's
feet
fair.
Don't work, but his brain
He
knows
understands
what
it.
has to happen.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of that amongst especially in pro levels where they're all reasonable at a minimum. But there's players that just have that brain. Like I genuinely expect Javi to go places because you look at him and the way he picked apart games as a player.
Yeah.
Like, this guy's level of understanding is beyond.
So what we're saying on this show is that Steven Gerrard does not have that.
That's a big.
Is that what you're saying? Is that
I
what
think he
you're
was
saying?
No, he was doing well at Rangers. I just feel like the big jump just too soon for him.
But I thought he was great at Villa last season.
Yeah, but that was the whole different energy, towards the end. Everyone was like,
I think it's a long season. We're at the room. It's only 4 games.
It's only 4 games, man. Relax.
I know.
Steven Gerrard's
I know,
got this.
But people, they love to watch, the fans will start booing.
Hey, you know what? People, like as much as people love building people up, they love taking people down. Of course.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
common. Yeah.
So
I don't think he's a bad coach. I just think his record.
don't backtrack now. Just look down the camera and say, Steven Gerrard, you're trash.
I just think he hasn't.
do that.
Yeah, I just think he hasn't got the team working together. There's no unit.
And also, their
unity
centre
there.
back that they just signed also got injured.
Yeah, but
I
there
don't
was
know
all.
why I'm trying to make excuses for Steven Gerrard. I don't really care, to be honest.
I
You're
know.
like a secret Liverpool fan.
No, I'm not. My dad is a Liverpool fan, so I have a soft spot for them.
Wow, very United fan. That's
Yeah, I know, but he's my dad. You got a family of everything. So
One more subject before we go into the break. So I have sort of Dynamo Kiev close to me. I was fortunate enough to work with the club last season for their launch and this season, but let's just not announce anything as of yet. There's a bit of delay there.
Great work last season, by the way. I have to say, it was.
Thank you.
one of
I
my
tried
favorite,
making Australia look like
It looked
Ukraine.
amazing.
And that was before the whole ordeal with the Russians, invading.
Yeah.
It was a terrible situation for them. And to see them come into football again, I think it unifies a lot of the people on the front line, but also the families. But yeah, tell us.
Yeah, so obviously football returned for Ukraine last week, which is a massive, I guess, stance from a political view.
Mhm.
I think it's almost, I think I heard the Ukrainian FA president or someone say, this is proof that, as Ukrainians, it's almost like a way for them to stand up to Russia from a, I guess you call it a social sense, but, it's just saying, whatever you guys are doing is not affecting us. We're stronger than this. And I think that's such a great viewpoint to have on this, because it's obviously such a traumatic time for so many people. And one of the comments that they made was that a lot of the military are big football fans, ultras, really kind of that bing. Normally it's okay. You can see fingers crossed. Yes, a lot of them are normally, big football fans. So, for them to be able to watch football in their, spare moments off, I think is a good, fill up. But the one thing that I felt awful for the players, for the spectators, there was a match, round one, I don't know how to pronounce these teams too correctly, I'm going to try, but it's Rukviv, and there was Kharkiv. 4.5 hour match. So there was 3 air raid sirens. And so from what I understand is that Ukraine's kind of got I guess you can call them bomb shelters. And they all have to be within 500 meters of the ground. And so everyone has to, move out, go to the shelter, try and let that raid pass. And, it could even be a false alarm. But so it stopped the game, 3 times, that's rough.
A lot of players had left the Ukrainian leagues. They've gone abroad now. It's tough for the Ukrainian league to survive, as in to continue what they're doing. But, hats off to them because they're doing amazing. Some of the players, the professional players in Ukraine have definitely taken the front line. So, it's going to be a tough one for them.
100%. And I think sport, there's nothing better than sport as a form of resilience, as a form of escapism as well.
100%.
Ukraine. And I think that having football back is a massive thing for them. Hopefully, it's step in the right direction.
Yeah, well, interesting that you mentioned having football back. So, obviously, Shakhtar and Dinamo in the Champions League and Europa League.
Yeah.
Shakhtar haven't played a home game in their home city since 2014. And that's because of Russia's invasion of Donbass, which is eastern part of Ukraine. So I think they've been playing out of Dinamo Kiev's ground until recently. And then now Champions League games getting played at Warsaw in Poland.
Wow.
So pretty interesting. I don't know, it's a bit of a weird dynamic there, I guess. I know that they had some issues with transfers and getting players in. I think that their promise to a few players was that they're not playing in Ukraine, they're playing in Russia or in Poland, to sort of that was to sweeten the deal. But it's going to be a hard one. If you look at Shakhtar's been one of those feeder clubs that have brought players in from South
Fred.
Africa. Yeah, correct. And then move them on into other.
Did William play in show?
Yeah.
Douglas
and
Costa.
There's so many big names that have come through that club, and you their list this year.
It's sad for the profit as well for the clubs and
Correct. And I think that I found more non-Ukrainian players in Shakhtar's squad, which is crazy. Dinamo Kiev on the other hand is entirely Ukrainian. They've had a great season last year. I think they're actually favourites to win the league this year as well. There's a lot going on there, and I think that like you said, that whole escapism sort of concept and that sport serving some sort of political influence is such a good thing for the country. So I just hope they can do well, considering there's a lot of restrictions and a lot of sort of struggles that are going to come along with the fact that they're still alive.
Nike has kicked off the new season launching their Lucid Pack, dropping a yellow glow, sunset stroke combination on their Air Zoom branded materials. The Tiempo Legend 9, classy as ever, rocks a guava ice base color for the sunset glow swoosh to bounce off and ties in the boots nicely to the Lucid Pack theme. Lastly, the Phantom GT2, dropped in a vivid glacier ice, comes in high and low cut collars. It's lightweight, and the blend of comfort, power, accuracy and touch is perfect for every style of footballer. All available now at ultrafootball.com.
All right, so we're back with another episode. Thank you for watching that advertisement. These boots are actually really nice. We're not going to get into detail because you'll watch the ad, but how nice are these ones? The peachy pink. My face is not connected. There we go. We're connected now. I love a Tiempo. Cool boot.
That's really nice. I love it. You know what's funny? I find this really interesting about a lot of manufacturers these days, that like you can't say peach. It's like sunset glow.
Yes.
It's, like, it's never
Just
like,
make up names.
I did a whole episode about that because if you search up the name of it, all the same products with the same code come up so you can match your outfits.
and I know like cars do the same thing. It's always like lightning ice and it's silver. Like, come on, man. It's grey. Like, what are they going to call beige? Like, just boring beige.
Como blue,
Yeah, something.
Melbourne grey.
It's so weird. I don't understand. Like, does it really sell that much better?
Probably the same thing.
Yeah, correct. Imagine like if you're looking out on the street, like I don't know what color is that car? You're not going to say it's Cosmo Blue or something. Like you're going to look at it.
Unless you know your cars.
Yeah, but who says that? I don't know. Like
Some people might.
we should make an effort just to go up to people and be like, "Oh my god, that color!" Like, and just rip out the most weirdest like combination.
You should just if you like a weird color, just comment below.
Yeah, comment your weird color.
There you go. Ryan's first contribution.
My first contribution. I've been here.
Yeah, he's been here for like 30 minutes now.
Football Icks.
Yeah.
I know this is something we all speak about in a sense of football. So I'm hoping we can cut this up. So, okay. A fellow TikToker, a user by the name of Solomon, or I referenced him as Salmon, because he just popped out of nowhere and started like throwing shit at us on our latest video on TikTok. He said, and as a European, I'm not sure where he's from in Europe, but I think the UK, he's like, Australians cannot support a European team. You have no connection to a team in Europe. Case closed. That's what he said.
Wow. Tell me you know less about Australia and how many people migrated here from another country.
First of all, I was born here,
Yeah.
so I had no choice when my parents decided to make a family.
Yeah.
I'm Australian, but I've got European heritage.
Yep.
You know, Paul has as well, and of course your background as well. You're not going to say like we can't support any team in Europe. What's your sort of?
First of all, Salmon, listen to me. All right, you need to settle down. Some of the biggest clubs have huge fan bases from around the world, so you need to chill out. And also, that's a fair. But yeah,
all three cameras. I'll cut it
yeah.
up.
Which camera? Which is my camera? That
all three. Just say
Salmon, listen to me. I think this ties into my football week as well, which is the disrespect that is shown to other football cultures that's not European as well. So, you know, the Napoli president's comments after Koulibaly left saying he's never going to sign African players again. Or Kylian Mbappe saying that, you know, the European qualifiers or national teams play tougher, you know, because they're in Europe and stuff like that. I think we forget that, like, it's the world game, right? And that the connection is not necessarily with like the brand or like the merch and that kind of thing, but it's like the simplicity of the game and like the way people make the game look. So yeah, you know, like don't have any European heritage, but like, you know, my cousin grew up supporting Manchester United. That's how I supported Manchester United. You form connections with the players and their stories. So you don't have to be geographically located. In that case, Simon, why are you watching this? We're an Australian show and you're in Europe. So how about, you know, watch someone else? Leaving comments on an Australian show. Go find wherever you're from.
Yeah. Well,
A podcast from a European show and watch that.
For me, look, I started supporting United, being of Macedonian heritage. The flag's dominant red with yellow. So for me, red and yellow, United colours. So I was like, that's the team for me. I think the hardest part is, and this is to all sort of Australians, is like, yeah, we may be supporting the bigger teams, but I'm really like, I love people who have smaller sort of connections to clubs. Like, you know, the fact that someone like, you know, we've got a friend who's a Villa supporter, we've got a friend who's a Crystal Palace supporter. Like, I'm just saying in general, I'm sure you guys know someone that supports
100%.
them. And it's crazy to think like there are supporters of smaller, if not the top 5 teams. But like, if we support United, we're not just deciding because they're successful, but it's no one else's choice but our own.
And you don't need to have a connection to a club. You can go and pick a team and you don't have to watch football for your entire life.
It's almost like saying non-football fans can't support a team on the back of their success at the current time. I know Fernando was saying the other day, his son, he's still 6 years old and he's liking Gabriel Jesus, but he moved to Arsenal. So he's like, who do I support now?
Yeah.
So like, it's football. Just love it. Yeah,
I think
you support one team, you can't support multiple teams in the Premier League. Like if you're a United supporter, we can't wear Chelsea. We can't. Yeah, we can like a player. You know, like I look up to players and I'm like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to support them.
Yeah.
In that sense, Salmon, Just stop commenting on our videos.
Current Monday.
He got really offended when I said to him, like, look, we're Australians. We're allowed to support who we want. And he's like, yeah, but you're not from that country. You're not from that city. You're not from that place. I'm like, well, I'm sorry. I can't afford to fly to Manchester every week.
Yeah, but he's probably making the assumption that we don't follow anyone in Australia either.
He said to me, he literally said in that comment, I'm getting fired up now. He's like, support your local. I'm like, I work for my local.
Yeah, that's even worse.
That's true.
And then he responded with the whole comment, oh, but like you have to support your local. It's like, what do you want, man?
How does he know? He clearly knows nothing. Maybe he's a keyboard warrior.
For sure.
Lack of knowledge, even he could have like dug a little deeper. He could have jumped on your personal profile.
That's true.
Well, I went on his profile,
Yeah.
and he was trying to make TikTok trends with like sticking sticky notes on cars. He's like, tag a friend, you want to do it too. And I was like, I literally commented on his videos. I'm like, bro, why are you driving an Asian car in the UK? Like,
That's the same logic, right?
You get me?
Think of it that way. It's like,
support your local manufacturer.
yeah. What is it like? What is the UK local car? I didn't know. Yeah.
Aston Martin.
Oh yeah, yeah. Here's 250 grand.
Anyways, case closed.
Back to Icks. So you guys went fully political with these Icks, and I was very surprised by this. I think my concept of Icks were things that really pissed me off on the football pitch as a shit league player. So my thing was free kick. No matter where it is, you get this guy.
He does this.
On a Sunday.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? How did you know, first of all? But also, what is it?
It's the crossbar challenge.
The problem straight away is this Ronaldo stance. You know when he walks up to the ball and he's standing there, he's like this. He's got his legs
ready.
spread. But
He's
the ball's still at his feet. So he's still going to take 3 steps, 4 steps back.
Yeah.
But it's that walk where it's like,
Yeah, and he's doing that. And it's a full like, do you remember, I think it was like FIFA like 13 or 14 where you'd be in the arena or something doing a penalty.
yeah.
And I think if you're with Ronaldinho, you could step them back.
Yeah.
Stepping them back further.
Yeah.
It has this like weird kind of feel.
Mhm.
Oh man, if you're that guy, don't be this guy. Like
No.
just take the penalty shot now. I'll take the free kick shot, man.
But that's but would you say that is more of an ick than someone saying "sue" when they score?
Yeah.
Kids can do it. Not a grown man.
Not a
grown
grown.
woman.
If you are a grown man, and I bet Salmon does this when he scores a free kick after taking rigid steps backwards. If you hit the Sue as a grown man, get out of here.
Actually, another thing. Sorry, I know you got another ick, but that new celebration that everyone's doing, the twerk. I'm so over it.
The what?
Yeah, that's work. I saw it was a women's.
A women's player did it, but then a men's player did it recently as well, where they fake a calf injury, they go down and it starts working.
Do you want to give us a quick demonstration?
I get banned by my wife. No, honestly, please. I know celebrations are amazing. Just bring the classics. They'll do I think it was Arsenal. They did a lot with what was his name? The striker. Was it Kanu? Like, used to get his boots clean.
I was still old school.
That's the 98. FIFA
What
98
would you? Okay, so
celebration.
we're talking about the worst celebrations. What are your favorite ones?
favorite worst celebration.
No. Your favorite celebration. If you were to score a goal, what would you be doing?
You go. I didn't score much as a defender.
Okay, well, before I go to my favorite, the first one that came to my mind was I don't know if you guys have seen Christian Lucarelli. He takes his shirt off, puts his name set on the top, and then gives his t-shirt a go. That's probably the most polite way I could say it.
Kids are listening to this. There's probably a mum or dad driving, listening to us right now, and you've just described
Yeah,
that.
they're like, what does Paul mean? Give it a go, and they're like, it's just anyway.
You've ruined it. You go next.
I like the Serge Gnabry, the one he took from James Harden, the bowl.
Ah, yeah.
It's the- yeah.
That's
I like
cool.
that. That's a nice one.
So my first goal I scored for Diamond Valley, I was a left back, so I didn't really score many. Anyways, corner, tapped it in. I planned this celebration. It was at Northgate City's ground, and I was like, the fence is so long, I'm gonna jump over and stand on the chair and clap myself, like, yeah, woo! No fans. That was always my favorite celebration.
That's the most embarrassing thing you've ever done.
No, it was. But you know what the worst part was? I scored, and I was like, "Oh shit, I scored! Do I celebrate?" I just put the fist bump.
You
Yeah,
froze.
I froze.
I remember
Caught up in the moment.
as a kid, I think we all, that era where everyone was like scoring and throwing the shirt over your head. You'd run around blindly, like.
Yeah.
So I think I had a young cousin that he would have been maybe 3 at the time, so like really young.
Yeah.
You know, in the backyard, like some people had trampolines back in like the 90s and 2000s. You flip the trampoline up and use that as goals.
Yeah.
So we did that, and he scored, and he's a little kid, so we kind of like let him celebrate. We're all cheering him on.
Yeah.
He throws the shirt over his head, smash straight into the post, and he's just on the floor. Absolute waterworks turn on. So, and mind you, the shirt's still over his head. So there's about 6 of us, cousins and uncles and stuff, all pissing ourselves up.
Yeah.
He gets up. He's like, oh. And just sees everyone laughing. He's like, I don't know what to do. He just starts laughing. I was like, okay, this is great. Best celebration hands down ever since.
Oh, there's so many good celebrations.
Yeah.
I reckon Cantona in the crowd is the best one.
Oh, yeah. So good.
That's a good one. Replicate that on the weekend.
Have you guys got any other football leagues? Because I've got
I think
a couple. But
yeah, I got one when I was playing as a kid. The kid that's like the captain, and then he just uses that as an excuse for anything.
Yeah,
Well,
always hurling abuse and
So like
stuff.
I don't know, I'm not gonna out him, but like he was James. He was playing centre back, and then one time he just decided to go up to striker, and no one told him to. And then we were like, "Yo, you're centre back. You need to," and he goes, "I'm the captain.
look at me.
Look at me. I'm the captain now."
Wow.
And I was like,
he literally took that on board.
Yeah.
Captain Phillips.
yeah. And he went, "You know what? I'm going up top." And then he just didn't go back. And so we had a massive gap in centre back. So yeah, that's
Captains,
that's my-
I wore the captain armband once, and
Yeah.
I didn't feel good.
You
I
didn't
had to
feel
give
good?
it to someone else. But there was always that one kid at Preston Lions that always wore the captain's armband, and he would like hurl abuse at other kids. And I remember he always bullied this one kid in our team and spat on his head always. And I was like, that's not a captain.
That sounds like
So if you're a captain in a youth level, or if you're a coach for a kid who is captainized, do not allow them to be total assholes,
Yeah.
because that's a total football ick when kids use the power.
yeah.
So my last one was non-professional linesmen being extremely biased. Is there anything?
Wait,
that's actually
Is that your family member or team member that's like
obviously, like local leagues, especially in the last few seasons, there hasn't been many refs, so like there's always like the volunteer ref. And I know volunteering is not easy. You don't get paid. It sucks.
yeah.
But don't be biased. It's horrible. There's nothing worse when you see him and he's like 10 meters offside. Like he's like, flags down. Like piss off, man. It's not funny.
Yeah, I think Paul's just upset.
Yeah, he's got a few memories how he's holding on to.
It's a bit of PTSD. For
Yeah,
me.
yeah, let it out, bro. This is therapy. Just say what you got to say.
This is a venting episode.
Yeah.
We're yelling at salmon, yelling at.
It's a good way to start a
Dog all the
Monday.
way.
Yeah. It's a good way to start off the week, to be fair. Yeah.
So is there anything else? Actually, quickly on the whole basis, I did like what you mentioned about the whole disrespect. I think just racism in football is another thing that we need to remove. That was a major topic on the Athletic the other day, where they speak about racism towards African background, but there's no sort of support for Asian background players.
Yeah.
And I think Park Ji-sung copped it a lot in the early days. There was a lot of Thomas Ayew from Arsenal, Sung, and there's a few others. And there's I think the gentleman at Wolverhampton, the Korean player.
Hwang Hee-chan.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Good
Yeah.
pronunciation. But
Shout out my South Koreans.
yeah, like the amazing football league up there.
Yeah. And you know, like I think I brought that up because I think like the social fabric in which like the game is played, right? Like Park Ji-sung was like one of my heroes growing up, because like as a young Asian kid, you didn't
Carter,
have
so many players, yeah.
you know, Nakamura at Celtic and stuff. Like you kind of gravitate to the players that you can kind of relate to visually first. And yeah,
That's a good shout out to Salmon. This is why we support football, because there's
that's why
players.
Park Ji-sung was a big thing for me at Manchester United,
Yeah.
right? Like, and yeah, it's disappointing. I remember growing up and like when we were in school, people would be, you know, when you talk about Asian Champions League and like the clubs in the A League and stuff, and like the kids in school would be like, yeah, we'll be fine playing a Thai team. Like, you know, the write off immediately is like insane. And
Yeah.
and like you look at some of the best players in the world are not European. Son is one of the best players in the world by far. I mean, I rate him.
Completely.
You know, and so I think, yeah, it's disappointing, but I think the more we see of different cultures and we get exposed, you know, to that is better.
Definitely a big football league. Massive.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, 100%. But
Yeah.
it's just that naivety. I think is just the biggest part. I think people are just completely oblivious.
I got a jersey here I wanted to show. So it came in the mail. They stuffed up the name set. I don't know what's happened. You can tell me. I think it's just been in the box for too long. I don't know how
Show
to
me the
talk.
whole bit, yeah, I'll
Yeah,
hold
thank
that.
you.
Yeah,
Thank
there
you.
you
So I got Conor Metcalf
Yeah,
on the
nice.
back of the
Very
new
Are we flipping
Sao
it?
Paulo. Yeah,
There you go. There you go. Yep.
So a club that is really well known for diversity and everything. Love this shirt. I totally should have researched what this design was, but just I think at Club Sao Paulo, when it comes to football Icks, they're definitely one of those clubs that push the boundaries for, diversity, equality. So I think there's no football Ick at Sao Paulo. So shout out to Sao Paulo.
And the fact that there's two Aussies there now, which is
Love it.
Yeah.
Really excited to see them. I think they had a disappointing couple of games. Hopefully they progress to Bundesliga, but a massive love for that club.
Yeah, that's so nice.
Anything else you want to say before we wrap up the episode?
No, we're good.
No.
I think we got pop-up coming. We got some things that may be good, some things that may be shit.
Oh, it's been a bit of a fun one for us to organise. Two beautiful jerseys in the back here are available at Ultra Football. Some amazing jerseys that I've heard from the back coming through soon. the music's playing. I think they've got a meeting for Mondays. But yeah, look, as always, make sure to subscribe to Ryan's socials. He is well known for his time on FIFA. We'll definitely have another episode. We'll talk about that. And again, I know this episode's too long. How did you enjoy the fame and the glory?
It was not. I wasn't famous in the slightest. I did
You
one
were.
TikTok where I was like, "Yo, I was in FIFA," and that blew up. And then after that, and you guys didn't show me love again. So I stopped using TikTok because then people like Salmon would be on me and stuff like that. So I stopped reading the.
I think Salmon's gonna. You know how every podcast or every radio station has that one character that they always like the villain.
But you know what? I bet you're probably loving it, bro. Like you probably loving it. This is the best part of your week. So
Salmon is officially our villain.
yeah.
Done.
Keep commenting. They'll keep talking to you. I don't know when I'll be back. I'll probably never be back after this.
Wait, his name's
Solomon.
Solomon.
surely you can't tell me he's like not from either like Middle East or like somewhere with
I know.
like an Arabic kind of.
That's why I said that the
Getting
winner.
a bit dicey now.
No,
I'm
no,
stepping
no,
out of
like-
this conversation.
So what? Okay, so you're telling me that he only supports a team in whatever country his origins are from?
Again, I didn't really get involved with him. Salmon, please stop commenting on our videos. But keep watching because we need the views. I just want to say thank you so much to everyone for watching our videos on YouTube. Please continue to support. It means a lot to us. On Spotify as well, everyone at Ultra always lets me know with the stats. Really exciting. I do love listening to our podcast back and like seeing how awkward we are. But of course, if you have any comments, any queries, don't be scared to message us. Pop up like Paul said. Few pizzas events. And yeah, I'm just excited. Football's an exciting time.
Thank you guys for having me.
Ryan, you have anything to sign off with? You didn't give us that fact. But
Okay,
did you know-
oh yeah, so here's a fun fact for you that it's illegal in Switzerland to own just one guinea pig. If you're going to get a guinea pig as a pet, it has to have 2 or more because they're social creatures, so they need to have friends. Fun fact for you.
That's so good.
Hey, if this is the best episode on Spotify,
Well, that's where we got the famous FIFA guy.
Yeah.
no one knows why. Trust me, Solomon will be like, "Who the hell is this guy?"
Well, make sure to follow us on all socials. Latest boots add in the middle of the video. As always, please stay safe, stay away from stupid people, and we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you.
Yeah.